Hello all, welcome to Gurukul CAT 100 series, a series designed to take you from your study room to your corporate boardroom. I am Deepak Nemani and this is Daily Quant with Deepak. Hi all, welcome back to day 90 of 100 days to CAT Quant series. In this video, we'll be discussing 5 questions from Quant. So whenever a question is displayed on the screen, pause the video, try solving that question. Once you're done solving, you can resume the video. If you find this video helpful, like the video, share this video with your friends who are preparing for CAT, and most importantly, for more videos of this kind, subscribe to this channel. In case if you want to attempt these 5 questions in the form of a test, you can log into our portal, the gurukul.org.in. The link is already in the description below. Now once you click that link, you'll get enrolled to a course called 100 days race to CAT, in which there will be 3 sections: quant, LRD and VRC. We'll be uploading 100 tests in each section, so that if you are a serious CAT aspirant, you cannot afford missing these tests, and these tests are absolutely for free, right? So without any further delay, let's get started with the first question. Now coming to the first question, Ramesh and Gautam are among 22 students who write an examination. Ramesh scores 82.5. The average score of the 21 students other than Gautam is 62. The average score of all the 22 students is one more than the average score of 21 students other than Ramesh. The score of Gautam is, right? So we have Ramesh, we have 20 students, and we have Gautam, right? Now we are given with Ramesh score being 82.5. Now, we do not know the sum of the scores of these 20 students. So let me consider the sum to be S. And we are asked to find the score of Gautam. Now let that be G. Right. Now what's given? The average score of 21 students other than Gautam is 62. So he's talking about these 20 students and Ramesh. Right. So sum of the scores of Ramesh and these 20 students should be equal to 62 into 21. Now 60 into 20 is 1240 plus 62 into 1 is 62. So 1240 plus 62, that should be 1302. Now what is 1302? Sum of the scores of all 21 students excluding Gautam, right? Then the average score of all 22 students is one more than average score of all the 21 students other than Ramesh. Now what would be the average of all the 22 students? So Ramesh score plus sum of the scores of all 20 students plus Ganesh score by 22. Now this is one more than the average score of 21 students other than Ramesh. So if you exclude Ramesh, now we have these 20 students and Ganesh, right? So that should be equal to S, which is nothing but the sum of the scores of all 20 students plus Ganesh by 21. Now one more than that, so plus 1. Right. Now what is the value of R plus S? R plus is nothing but 1302. Okay. Now I'll replace R plus S with 1302 plus Ganesh score, which we need to find, by 22 should be equal to now S. Now, okay, so this is nothing but S. Now we know that R plus S is equal to 1302 and the value of R is 82.5, right? So the value of S would be 1302 minus 82.5 plus G plus 21 by 21, right? Now I'm not finding these values because you might, okay, 82.5 into 22, right? It will be easy for us to find that, right? Then if I cross multiply, you will be having 21 into 1302 plus 21G is equal to 22 into 1302 minus 22 into 82.5 plus 22G plus 21 into 22. Done. Now let me take 21G from left hand side to right hand side. So you will be having 22G minus 21G. So we will be left with the G. Now which would be 21 into 1302. Again, I am not finding the values, so that some values might cancel out each other, right? Now sending this 22 into 1302 to left hand side, minus 22 into 1302 plus 22 into 82.5 minus 22 into 21. Now 21 into 1302 minus 22 into 1302. Now if I take 1302 common, 21 minus 22, which is minus 1. So G is equal to minus 1302 plus, now between these two I can take 22 common. Now if I take 22 common, now you will be having 82.5 minus 21, which is nothing but 61.5, right? Now what I'll do is I'll write 22 as 2 into 11, right? Because 2 into 61.5, this is 123. Now we have minus 1302 plus 123 into 11. Now 123 into 11, 1 2 3 and 1 2 3. So 3 5 3 1. Now this is nothing but 1353 minus 1302. Now 53 minus 2, 51 should be the answer to this question. Now coming to the second question, in a triangle ABC, medians AD and BE are perpendicular to each other and have lengths 12 centimeter and 9 centimeter respectively. Then the area of triangle ABC in square centimeter is. Now we have a triangle ABC. Now AD and let us say BE are medians. Now which are perpendicular to each other. So this angle should be 90 degrees. Okay, and they have lengths 12 centimeter and 9 centimeter respectively. So if the length of AD is 12 centimeter, we know that the intersection of the medians is nothing but centroid, which divides medians in the ratio 2:1, right? So if this total length is 12, I can say that this should be 8 and this should be 4. And similarly, if BE is of 9 centimeters, now this part should be 6 and this part should be 3, right? Now let me draw one more median passing through vertex C. Now what do we have? 6 triangles and they are of equal area, right? So all the 3 medians divide triangle into 6 triangles, 6 smaller triangles of equal area, right? So if we can find the area of one triangle, right, into 6 will give us the area of the triangle ABC. Right. Now here if this is 90, this is also 90. Now 8 and 3 are perpendicular sides of a right angle triangle. What is the area of the right angle triangle? Half into product of perpendicular sides. So 8 into 3. So 2 4s 12. Now what is 12 square centimeter? Area of this triangle. How many such triangles are there? 6. So 6 into 12, 72 becomes the answer to this question. Now coming to the third question, how many factors of 2 power 4 into 3 power 5 into 10 power 4 are perfect squares which are greater than 1, right? Now first let's prime factorize this. So we have 2 power 4 into 3 power 5. But these are prime numbers, 2 and 3. 10 is not prime number, right? So let's prime factorize 10 as 2 into 5. So this will be 2 power 5, 2 power 4 into 5 power 4. So this is nothing but 2 power 8 into 3 power 5 into 5 power 4. Now for any number to be prime, right, the power should be even, right? So we have total of 2 power 8. Now we need to consider only the even powers of 2, right? So starting from 2 power 0, because 1. Then you can have 2 square, you can have 2 power 4 and you can have 2 power 8. Now you cannot have 2 cube because 2 cube into something that does not result in a perfect square, right? So from 2 power 8, so we can have, sorry, 2 power 6 also. So 2 power 6 and then 2 power 8. So you can have 2 power 0, 2 power 2, 2 power 4, 2 power 6, 2 power 8. Now similarly 3 power 5. So we can start with 3 power 0, then 3 square, then 3 power 4. Now these are the only 3 powers of 3 powers of 3 that you can consider. Now coming to 5 power 4. So 5 power 0, 5 square and 5 power 4, right? Now you take any of these 5 into any of these 3 into any of these 3, right? So that always result in a perfect square. So we have how many? In the first column you have 5 values, right? So you can take any one, right? So 5C1, which is nothing but 5 into, right? From these 3 you need to select one. That could be done in 3 ways and last 3 ways. So 5 into 3 into 3, 5 into 9, 45. But the answer is not 45 because we are asked to find the perfect squares which are greater than 1. So among these 45 numbers, we have one number 2 power 0 into 3 power 0 into 5 power 0. Now what is this value? 1. Right. So we should not be considering this only one value. So all you need to do is subtract 1 from 45. 44 becomes the answer to this question. Now coming to the fourth question. Let f be a function such that f of mn is given to be f of m into f of n for every positive integers m and n, right? So f of 1, f of 2 and f of 3 are positive integers such that f of 1 is less than f of 2 and f of 24 is equal to 54, then f of 18 equals, right? Now we are given with f of 24 is equal to 54. Now first, how can we factorize f of 24, right? So 24 can be written as 2 into 2 into 2 into 3, right? Now why am I factorizing this? Because we are given with f of mn is equal to f of m into f of n, right? So first I will write 24 as 12 into 2. So this becomes f of 12 into f of 2, right? Now again I will factorize 12 as f of 12 can be factorized as f of 4 into 3. So f of 12 becomes f of 4 into f of 3. Now again I can factorize 4 as f of 2 into f of 2. Done. Right. So I can write f of 24 as f of 24 can be written as f of 2 into f of 2 into f of 2 into f of 3. Done. Right. So which is equal to f of 2 whole power 3 into f of 3. Right. Now the value of f of 24 is given to be 54, and let's read the state question once again. Let f be a function such that f of m n is equal to f of m into f of n for every positive integers m and n, right? So if f of 1, f of 2 and f of 3 are positive integers, so f of 1, 2 and 3 should be positive integers, right? And note this point, integers, and f of 1 is less than f of 2 and f of 2 24 is given to be 54. Now let's prime factor is 54. Now how can I write 54? 27 into 2, right? So 27 can be written as 3 cube into 2, right? Now let's compare these two. So we have f of 2 whole power 3 into f of 3 is equal to 3 cube into 2, right? And we know that f of 2 should be an integer, f of 3 should also be an integer. So if that's the case, what is the value of f of 2? 3. And what is the value of f of 3? 2. So from this equation, we can deduce that the value of f of 2 is equal to 3 and f of 3 is equal to 2. Now we should be using these two to find the value of f of 18. Now how can we prime factorize 18? 18 can be written as 3 square into 2. So that becomes f of 3 whole square into 2. Right. Now what is the value of f of 3? 2. 2 square. 4. Sorry. This should be f of 2. Right. 4 into. What is the value of f of 2? 3. So 4 into 3. 12 becomes the answer to this question. Now coming to the last question. John jogs on track A at 6 kilometers per hour and Mary jogs on track B at 7.5 kilometers per hour. The total length of tracks A and B is 325 meters. Okay. Length of track A plus track B is equal to 325 meters. Done. Now we should be careful about the units because the speed is given in kilometers per hour, and whereas the distance, the length of the tracks is given in meters. Right. Now while John makes 9 rounds of track A, Mary makes only 5 rounds of track B, right? So we have John jogging on track A, Mary on track B. Now John completes 9 rounds of track A and Mary completes 5 rounds of track B. Now in how many seconds will Mary make 1 round of track A, right? So since we are given with the speed of Mary, right, all we need to do is we need to find the length of track B, right? Once you get that value, right, using speed we can find the time. right? Now, if the length of track A is A and if the length of track B is B, right? So the distance covered by John, right, in 9 rounds would be 5A and Mary 5B, right? And we also know that they're starting at the same time and the time is constant, right? In the time that John covers 9 rounds, Mary will be covering 5 rounds only, right? When time is constant, right, speed and distance are directly proportional, right? So the ratio of distances is nothing but ratio of speeds, right? So 9A by 5B should be equal to, what is the speed of John? John is 6 kilometers per hour by 7.5 kilometers per hour, right? Now this is 1.5, right? So A by B would be 6 into 2 by 3 into 9. So 3 2s, 4 by 9, right? And we are also given that the sum of the total length of the tracks A and B is 325 meters, right? So let the value of A be 4K and B be 9K. So 13K would be 325 meters. Now what is the value of K? 25 meters, right? So once you have the value of K, substitute here. So the value of A, that becomes what? 4 into 25, 100 meters. And what is the value of B? 9K. So 9 into 25, 225 meters, right? Now what was asked? In how many seconds will Mary make one round of track A? Now what is the length of track A? 100 meters. So distance by speed of Mary, 7.5 kilometers per hour. Now since we are asked to find a time in seconds, first we should be converting kilometers per hour to meters per second, right? So how can we do that? Into 5 by 18, right? So that would be 7.5 into 5, or 7, let me put that as 75 into 5 by 180, so into 180. Now 25 3s, 25 4s, right? 3 60s 180, 5 12s 60. Now 4 into 12, 48 becomes the answer to this question.
Hope you enjoyed learning from today's session.
This series is designed to help you with your CAT preparation and practice daily. We are with you in this journey.
To watch the next video, click here. And to watch Gurukul's CAT 100 series, study room to boardroom, the entire playlist, click here.
If you learned from today's session, like, share, and subscribe.